Every year, at the end of the season, apart from changing the oil, I used to check and adjust the torque on the cylinder head and the valve clearances. It could be done without removing the tank, but I find it more convenient to give it a little lift. So first step is pulling the tank up. It's just 3 bolts, no big deal. I borrowed a piece of wood from the log lady and pushed the little 6x6 between steering and tank to get all the headroom I need. Also my not so original but very reliable electronic regulator comes into view. Sorry for this little concession to modern times. It's sitting there now for over 11 years and still looks like new. The lids are removed with a 14mm wrench. I mark inlet and exhaust, but they are of course interchangeable. It's a good idea now to move the rubber mounts into a safe place. They tend to vanish into hidden corners. Now the torque on the cylinder head bolts can be set. With this type of click wrench it may be good to loosen the bolts a bit, otherwise there's the danger of overstretching. I set the torque to 30 Newton meters. With the almost inevitable extra push after the click, it should end up properly. Valve adjustment is tricky to catch on video, so I apologize if you see too much of my hand instead of the actual bits concerned. Moving the gear around with a Kickstarter shows when the valves are fully closed. You can also feel the clearance, if there is one, that is. So the feeler gauge checks for the proper distance. It's 0.2mm on the exhaust and 0.15mm on the inlet side. Here it's a bit too loose, so I go for correction. A 12mm wrench opens the top a bit and an 11mm for adjusting, but you can also use your fingers normally. The inlet side seems still to be correct, but here it can be seen where the wrenches go. While the lids are off, it's a good time to check if lubrication is still working or if the oil ducts have clogs. There should be little pools of oil at the bottom, and every location should have a solid coat of oil. In case of problems, the engine will soon react with a nasty rattling sound and the head needs to go off for cleaning. The upper engine mount is also free for inspection. It's a silent block and the rubber might be worn out and cracked. That being done, the lids go back again. No need for a new gasket, it lasts for more or less a lifetime. The tank goes back in place. Here you can get a look at my beautiful backside with the original paintings my kids put on my good old coat. A quick check if it still runs.
Wow.
And time for a nice cup of coffee.
You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee.